This video is a very crucial and important video for you as a beginner forex trader. So today we are going to be talking about trend lines. And what are trend lines? Trend lines are basically directions in the market that allows you to know when the market is going to buy or when the market is going to sell. So trend lines help you to understand the overall direction of where the market is headed. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be trading unanimously, or you're going to be trading in correlation with where the trend is headed. So the trend, for instance, let's say is buying. What you want to do is you want to be in the direction of where the market is headed per time. What you want to do is you want to buy because the trend is showing you that the market is supposed to be going up, or you want to sell because the trend is showing that the market is supposed to be coming down. So you do not want to do anything other than that. And how do you spot a quality trend line or a quality trend? Come with me on this video. So first off, one of the first and most important things you need to do is you need to go on a higher time frame. So preferably I would say, let's say you start with the 4 hour. Now why? If you are a day trader, that wants to trade an effective trend line, I would advise you to start with the 4 hour. Why? The 4 hour is sort of a time frame in between the higher time frame and sort of slowly entering into the smaller time frame. So it starts like an intermediary, right, for day traders. So 4 hour mostly is where you can get a good trend of where the market is headed for the day, or where the market is headed for, let's say, the next 2 days. But if you are probably a swing trader and you're looking at trading for like long term, let's say a week or 2 weeks, you can probably see you're going to be looking at the weekly time frame. So why? The weekly time frame is higher than the 4 hour, and the weekly time frame allows you to see the overall direction of where the market is headed if you are a swing trader. But for day traders like myself, I use the 4 hour time frame to see the overall trend, and I see how I can trade in correlation with the trend. So let's go. Let me give you guys examples. So one of the first things that we have is we have markets. Basically, you can have a trend like this. I'm going to be doing for the sales first. You can have a trend like where market is basically coming down, right? Like the overall direction of the market is a downtrend. But in between all of those downtrends, we've had pullbacks. And what are pullbacks? Pullbacks are basically areas where you can enter. But bear in mind, most of these pullback areas necessarily do not need to serve as lower highs where you're expected to sell, like the previous videos. Most of these places can basically be strong zones that market broke, right, and causing market to react off of those areas. I'm going to be showing you guys on the chart. So we can have something like market pushing down price like this, and then we see like a reaction to somewhere like here, and then it continues to sell again. So what you want to do is try to basically see how you can enter the trend of the market from the recent low that it broke, continuation to the downside. And I'm going to be giving you guys examples. Okay, so stay with me on this video. So now let's look at this. So let's look at this. So let's do something here. Okay, look at this. And then I'm also going to be showing you guys scenarios where we can have something like this. Let me quickly show you something. We can have something like this where we have a high, then a low, then we can have maybe something like this. Market did not get to that high. Bear in mind, the market basically pushed down price. Then now the trend, right? Market would now basically come to this area and then clear that high, right, and continue selling again. That is also one of the ways to understand that, okay, market is showing me that the overall, I'm going to be showing you guys examples, is a bearish momentum. Now look at this. Now first of all, this is Euro USD on the 4 hour time frame. I haven't seen this. We understand that this entry initially was because of the lower high, right? But market has not gotten back to this lower high area for us to say, okay, we want to sell again. But how do I spot the trend effectively? Now what I'll do is, I've seen that the overall bias remains solid, a sell, right? The overall bias is a sell, right? As you guys can see, what I would then do is bear in mind that this is an overall trend of a sell, because we've had a low here, the market broke and created this new low. The market created this new low, pushed up price, and then came down, broke again, and it keeps breaking, right? Then our market created a pullback by buying all the way to this place. Then bear in mind, it created this high, right? It makes sense that for you to be able to spot an entry off of trend lines, you need to look for instances in the market where market swept off a high slightly. So upon sweeping off that high, you can say, okay, you are looking at a bearish momentum all the way to the downside in continuation of the overall trend that market is giving you per time. Are you with me now? So you have something like this. Let me show you guys the candle again. So you can have something like where, okay, market is basically pushing down, creating a retest, not to the lower high, but it keeps creating a retest like this. Then you can have something like this, not to the lower high, something like this. Then automatically this place is a lower high area, right? The trend is a sell, but you're not trading lower highs here. This is a setup for a scenario where your lower highs are not effectively working for you 100%, right? So you want to create, okay, this is another strategy that I can use to get an effective trade, right? So what you would then do is, for you to be able to use a trend line, you can have something like market to basically clear off this high and then continue the sales. And that was exactly what happened here. We had basically market pushing down price, it kept on pushing down price, then it pushed up here and created a high. Creating that high, it created a pullback. Then after the pullback, it swept off the high, and then we had the sales continuation, right, in the direction of the overall trend. So what you would do is, I personally feel one very important thing that you need to understand, okay, I'm not looking at basically trading the pullback. Okay, are you with me now? So I'm not looking at basically trading the pullback. What I am looking at necessarily is me trading the direction of the overall trend, which is basically the sales. So what you would do is you have to spot zones where market swept off a retest high, right? So market sweeping off a retest high is where you can take your sales from, like this other one. So where would you probably set a stop loss? You could set a stop loss, you know, around somewhere here, a bit above the high that it just got swept. So wait for it to sweep off the high and then take your sales and set a stop loss above it a bit all the way to down. So this is in correlation with the overall trend in the market for the sales, right? Now let me give you guys a case scenario for the buys. So this is a 4-hour time frame, right? And in between this 4-hour time frame, we have scenarios where market created this low, right? And this low basically tried pushing up price, if you guys look closely. But in the process of it basically trying to push up price, it created a pullback, clearing this low and basically moving up in the momentum of the overall bias. So if we are basically looking for a futuristic trade on this, right? So if we are basically looking for a futuristic trade on this, I would say I have two places where I can take my trade from. So the first place I'll be looking at is a sweep of this area where we are expecting something like this, where market basically sweeps of this area to somewhere here and then it buys. Now you are trading in correlation with the trend, right? You are trading in correlation with the trend. So you understanding where to basically get your entries from is very, very solid, because I don't basically, personally, I do not believe in you drawing unnecessary lines and using those lines as standard prerequisites for an entry. I don't buy it. It works for some people, that is fine. But what I personally trade is basically sweeps of zones, because one thing market will always do, markets will probably sweep off a particular area and then continue in the direction of the overall trend. So we can have somewhere like this where you have a low, irrespective of how tiny it is. Don't forget, this is a 4-hour time frame. So anything tiny on a 4-hour time frame could be quite big on a 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes. So if you have something that's as low as this, and then you see that market basically return back price to this area and sweep it off, right? Upon sweeping it off, you see that it's continuing in the overall direction. So for me, understanding how to connect your market structure to the trend lines or to the overall trend of the market will basically help you. What do I mean by that? So if I were to be you, what I'll be looking at is, okay, what is the overall trend of the market? Is the market buying? Beautiful. If the market is buying, that is a very nice thing. What you would do is you would look for areas that have pullbacks like this, mark it out like I taught you in the previous video. So you mark out areas like this and wait for market to return back price to those areas and then push up. Now, two things: is either market returns back price to that area and push up, or market sweeps that area and push up, right? Or then if you have for the sales, you can have market basically pushing down price. Obviously, what I'll be looking at if I were you is I'll be looking at, okay, what is the overall trend? Is market pushing down price? Oh, great. Market, yes, market is pushing down price. So if market is pushing down price, what I will be looking at as market is pushing down price, okay, can I get an area that is looking like a lower high? right, where there's a possible sell. If you've gotten that kind of area, two things is either you'll be looking at selling from that area in the overall direction of the sales, which is where the market is headed, or you wait for market to basically sweep off the lower high and then see it sell. Are you with me? So that is one of the ways that you can be able to spot an effective trade with your trend, right? So it's very important that you now see how you can find a point of contact between market structure and your trend. So I hope this video has been able to educate you guys, and you've been able to learn how you can, use your trend to spot an entry and also mix it in correlation with market structure in the previous video. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and